What's up, digital nomads? Are you guys looking for a place to party like a rock star, chill out on some beautiful beaches, take a deep dive into the beautiful waters of cenotes, eat arguably some of the best street food in the world, all while being able to get your work done on your laptops with fast internet? Well, make sure you stay tuned to this video because I'm going to be giving you an in-depth look at my 1-month experience here in beautiful Playa del Carmen, and we're going to go ahead and get started with where I live. Alright, so I'm here now in the upstairs part of the apartment that I rented, but before I show you guys clips of the entire apartment, let's first talk about the geography of Playa del Carmen. It's important to understand because the main area, and likely the area that you'll be staying in, is called El Centro. And what I love about it is the streets are organized into calles that are numbered evenly, and also they intersect with avenidas. So I live on calle 44, which is street 44, and it intersects in between Avenida 10 y 15, 10th Avenue and 15th Avenue. So it's really easy to navigate because it's kind of like a quadrant. So you can easily figure out how to get around within the El Centro part of Playa del Carmen. And for those of you who didn't know, Playa del Carmen is located just an hour away from both Cancun and Tulum. Now, on the other side of El Centro, you have Playa Car. This is a little less populated with tourists, but trust me, it's equally as impressive. Now, overall, Playa del Carmen has gotten pretty touristy. I would come back and I highly recommend it because 1, you can definitely still feel the culture here. And 2, if you did want to go, out to the club or the shopping malls or whatever, it's right there, literally a 5-minute walk from wherever you stay. So yes, I absolutely loved it here and you're about to see why. It's a 2-story apartment. This is the bedroom. That's a king-size bed. It's pretty cool, and this is kind of like a lofty type thing. So as I'm walking over the ledge of the top part, you can see it's like a little loft, and you can see the downstairs and the stairs and the little desk area. And so when you come up here, you have the couch, a little desk, the bed. Yeah, so this Airbnb cost me just under $1,100 US per month. Now I know that's a little bit on the high side. I tend to get a little bit bigger Airbnb because I need a YouTube studio. I like to spread out. I actually like to work inside of my apartment as opposed to going out and going to a cafe and having to rely on faster internet somewhere else. One of the things I absolutely loved about this apartment was it had 3 internet networks, and 2 of them had 25 megabyte per second speed, and one of them had 100 megabyte per second speed, which was a godsend. And since I constantly have to upload and download and have video conferences and Skype calls and live streams and all these things, I really need reliable internet. So yes, this beautiful apartment came with a balcony. It came with a place where you could actually lay out and tan and watch the sunset. It was just an awesome place to live. I literally have 0 complaints. The one thing it didn't have was a washer and dryer, and honestly I really don't care because I love taking the clothes to the lavanderia, or the wash place where you take your clothes and they wash it and fold it for you. There's a ton of lavanderias around here, and it's only 10 pesos per kilo. So typically it was like, I don't know, $3 to do a load of laundry. It was very, very, very affordable, and you don't have to worry about washing your own clothes. And in the same day, they wash your clothes and fold your clothes. It's excellent. In my previous Digital Nomad videos, you guys often requested to see more about the food. And how could I forget about the food here in Playa del Carmen? It is so good. The street food, to me, is arguably some of the best in the world that I've ever had. You can eat very, very affordably in the streets or at even a local restaurant. But if you do want to buy groceries, let's check out what the groceries cost. So we just got back from the supermercado, and we got enough for the week for breakfast and a couple of lunches, like cereal, mac and cheese, beans, frijoles, papas, mango, bacon, sausage, tortillas, yogurts. I like my frozen vegetables, pasta. So this was 386 pesos, which is about $20. So it's pretty affordable. Yeah, so if you do this once a week, that's about $80 a month for groceries. Alright, so now let's talk about the pricing of food from highest to lowest. If you want to go out and into 5th Avenue, and let's say you go out and eat on Avenida Quinta or the 5th Avenue, that's the most touristy street. It has a bunch of shops and restaurants, American food like burgers, sushi, Italian. You're gonna pay obviously a little more. I had sushi and I paid approximately $20 for my meal. So that's about what it is in America. Maybe a little bit more in America, but 20 bucks a person, that's about what you pay for sushi regularly. There was a restaurant that we went went to called Pavelito, I think it was called, and it was an Italian restaurant off of 5th Street. And for a giant pizza, some spaghetti, and some drinks, we paid 552 pesos, which is about 32 US dollars. So per person, it was about $16. Not bad, pretty affordable, but obviously you're gonna pay a little more because it's off of 5th Avenue. The other cool thing about Playa del Carmen is there's a ton of fruterias, so there's these little shops that have a bunch of fruit in them, and that is pretty affordable. I found this little chain restaurant called Las Quecas, and it has like sopas, burritos, tacos, and there you would typically pay about 60 pesos per person per meal, so that's very reasonable. Just over $3 for a lunch and dinner. But actually, my favorite place to eat was this little taqueria I found just down the corner from our house, and it has the plato típico here in this part of Mexico, and those are called Las Gringas. And no, I'm not kidding, they're called Las Gringas. I thought they were joking with me because I'm gringa. They're like, no, they're called gringas. I'm like, what is a gringa? Hello? But basically it's just a bigger version of a taco. It's very delicious. They'll have onions and avocado, but this was by far the cheapest place I found and the most delicious. I mean, for 3 tacos and 1 gringa and a drink, I literally paid like 50 pesos. That is insane. And everything was so fresh. They just cook it right in front of you, and literally I could have eaten there every single day. I think I'm gonna miss that little taqueria the most out of everything I ate here. Oh, the other thing I wanted to mention about food is of course the alcohol. If you buy, there's these little liquor stores on the street, and if you buy a cerveza, it's very cheap compared to the US. I mean, I bought this big old cerveza on the corner and it only cost me 30 pesos, which is under $2 for this big old thing of beer. That's insane. So yeah, if you're a beer drinker, margarita drinker, tequila drinker, this is pretty much heaven for you. Now, let's talk about the things to do in Playa del Carmen. Now, this is really cool because I could probably make a 2-hour video just on things to do around here. You could probably be busy with something new to do every single day for at least 6 months. As I mentioned before, Playa del Carmen is located about an hour away from Cancun. If you're looking to party, if you're looking to go to Isla Mujeres, which is the island just off of Cancun, you definitely have that opportunity over there. But I have to warn you, Cancun is expensive. It costs us $35 per person to get into a nightclub over there called La Vaquita. But if you go to Coco Bongo or Daddy O's or any of the other clubs, it'll cost you easily $65 or $70 per person to get inside these clubs. I was like, oh hell no, I wouldn't. This is not Vegas. Like, I don't pay to get into clubs anywhere ever. No thanks. But hey, we were in Cancun. It may have been my last time in Cancun. I'm like, fine. Take my $35, we'll go to La Vaquita. So if you want to explore Isla Mujeres, I really like the trip. It's $44 per person to go explore the island, take a boat out there. It includes lunch, it includes open bar. You can relax, just chill out on the hammock and enjoy the Caribbean Sea. So yeah, I do like Isla Mujeres a lot. You can even rent a go-kart and go explore the island. There's tons of shops, tequila tasting, there's tons of things to do on that island. Now, in Playa del Carmen, I really liked, even though it was really touristy, I enjoyed being on 5th Avenue because there was a lot of shops and a lot of cool restaurants to see. There's also a couple of malls located in El Centro, and one of them is on 5th Avenue. So it was nice because there was a couple times I needed to buy a new shirt or a new bathing suit or whatever, and anything you needed literally was right there. They even have an Apple store. The beach in El Centro, the main Playa del Carmen beach, is beautiful. There are a lot of people there, but I promise you, the sand, the water is gorgeous. The temperature of the water is just great. And I'm coming from California. I'm from California and the water is just so cold. But this water is beautiful. Most of the beach is composed of beach resorts and those umbrella bed things, and you can rent them, or you can just chill out on the sand for free and go into the water by yourself. Now, if you want to get away from the Playa del Carmen area, I recommend going to an area called Punta Esmeralda. And if you go all the way to Calle 88, you just walk to the beach from Calle 88 and then you just go right along the shore and you come to this cenote, this beautiful little river area that flows kind of into the ocean, but the water is not salty, it's fresh water. And we made the mistake of going on Sunday. Sundays and Mondays are by far the most packed days with the local Mexicanos, but if you go during the week or Saturday and you go more so in the morning or at sunset, it'll be a really nice way to escape some of the tourism in El Centro. One of the other things we did that I loved doing was a food tour. Now, we went with this company called Eating with Carmen. They are a little bit pricey, it's $50 per person, but I absolutely loved it. they introduced us to some foods that I didn't really know about before. So basically in the tour, it's cool because they take you to areas that you probably would have never gone if you hadn't gone on the tour, and they take you to the local spots, and you really get to taste the Mexican flavors in the food, and I do highly recommend it. I was extremely full and happy after the tour. Okay, so I did want to mention something that we did on a weekend. I think we took a 4-day trip to Tulum. Tulum is located an hour away from Playa del Carmen, the opposite direction of Cancun, and I love Tulum. It's got a beautiful beach. There's a ton of things to do there. Now there's a huge amount of cenotes in Tulum. It's hard to decide when you're there. One cool cenote that you can go to, there's 4 cenotes kind of in one area, and that's called Cenote Tortuga, and that's about 450 pesos per person. Now the cenotes that are closest to Tulum are called Gran Cenote, Cenote Calavera, and one more, I can't remember, but they're right there. Those are the busiest and the most toured. A little spot, a little quiet, unknown spot that's not well known yet. It had a cenote right on the beach and also a little cenote just off the beach in the woods. It was super cute. I honestly can't remember the name, or else I would tell you guys. Also, I would recommend checking out the Tulum Ruins. Get there as soon as it opens, or go kind of towards later on during sunset because it is super busy. That costs 75 pesos to enter. Then the other thing you can do is, of course, explore Tulum Beach. Now it's free to walk along the beach, however, like the beach here in Playa del Carmen, a lot of the hotels have only private access for their guests. We did check out Cenote Calavera the morning before we left. It cost 100 pesos to enter, but that cenote really was packed with people, so it was kind of like you couldn't really enjoy it and swim because people were constantly trying to take Instagram pictures. So let's talk about transportation in Playa del Carmen. Now if you want to get to Cancun, to Playa, to Tulum, or any of the major cities, I recommend taking the ADO bus. If you arrive at the Cancun airport, it's 208 pesos as of the making of this video, which is way cheaper than a shuttle or a taxi. They try to scam you, so just take the bus. Also, the taxis around here, you can typically expect to pay at the making of this video 45 pesos, and that includes them coming to your place, picking you up, and dropping you off anywhere in this El Centro area in Playa del Carmen, so that's pretty cool. They do not have Uber here, which kind of stinks, so make sure if you take a taxi, you definitely need to negotiate the price first. This is important if you want to go to Tulum or any other local place. They have these vans called colectivos, and they're extremely cheap. From here to Tulum, it only costs 40 pesos per person, which is just over $2. So think about that. The taxis cost the same and you just go 5 minutes, but you could take the vans an hour away and it's only $2. The other thing I loved about Playa del Carmen, it is very bike friendly. Typically you can expect to rent a bike for around 100 pesos per day. That's what we paid in Tulum. We didn't actually bike that much here, but just to give you guys a ballpark number of what we paid, and I would definitely try negotiating if you're renting for like a month or a week or something like that. Okay, so one of the last categories I wanted to mention was co-workings and cafes. I went to Starbucks a few times to work, and I really enjoyed working there. It had decent speed, about 20 megabytes per second. I did not work at any co-workings because this house was literally perfect. It had faster internet typically than a co-working, but I did check out a place, and when I mean check out, I just walked by. This co-working called Nest. It's very centrally located in El Centro. They cater to digital nomads very well. They're very accommodating. The pricing was pretty expensive. It was over $200 a month, and when I was living in Bali, for example, it was about $100 more than what I paid for the co-working in Bali, which was $140. So it is a little bit on the pricier side, but if you need a place to work, I do recommend Nest Co-working. Okay, as some of you may know, I do CrossFit. So everywhere I go on my digital nomad journey, I make sure there is a CrossFit gym in the city. So here I paid 750 pesos per month for CrossFit, which is super cheap. That's just over $40 per month, which is absolutely unheard of in the United States. In the US, for example, you can't find a CrossFit membership cheaper than $120 per month. So that was like a godsend. It was very nice. They had classes in the mornings and evenings. It was homeless CrossFit. It was a great gym. It really accommodated my schedule. There are typical gyms around here, more like a 24-hour fitness or something like that. Just Google gyms in Playa del Carmen and they'll all pop up. So to wrap up this video, I highly recommend Playa del Carmen. As I mentioned before, it is a little bit on the touristy side, but I absolutely love it. The Mexicanos are so friendly. The food is amazing. There's so much to do. And most importantly, I felt safe the entire trip. So let me know in the comments what you guys liked about this video. Could you see yourself living in Playa del Carmen? And of course, if you haven't already, join the family, subscribe to the channel for more digital nomad videos and tips, and of course all things online marketing. You guys have been awesome. I'll see you on the next video. I'm Marissa. Take care.